So at this part of the class, I hope you've already gone to the website and downloaded the homework sheet, and I hope you've already filled it out, and that you are here to watch me do it and see if you got the right answers, not just to copy me. Alright, let's go for question number 1. Name the following intervals. That's easy. There's the intervals up there, and we have to write the intervallic labels in the blank spaces below. So let's start with the first one. Step 1 is to figure out the distance. So we have an E on the bottom here. We count E as 1, 2, 3. This is a third. The distance is a third. Now, what type of third is? Step 2 is to figure out the quality. The bottom note is E, so we are thinking in the key of E major. Now we ask ourselves, is the third note of an E major scale G, G sharp, or G flat? It happens to be a G sharp. G sharp is the third note of an E major scale, and this is not a G. This is a G natural. And if we have an E down here and a G sharp up here and we change it to G natural, the interval got smaller. So if it was E to G sharp, it would be a major third because it's in the major scale. And now that we have G natural, the interval got smaller, and we can go ahead and say that that is a minor third. One semitone smaller than a major third is a minor third. Oh look, I'm writing the old-fashioned label. This is how I was taught to write minor thirds. I better not do that. Let's use the updated version. Minor third. Okay, now this question, first step is to figure out the distance. Start with A on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a fifth. Okay, and then next we have to figure out the quality. The bottom note is A, so we are thinking in the key of A major. Is the fifth note of A major an E sharp, or an E flat? Fifth note of A major is an E, so this is a perfect fifth because you find it in an A major scale. Okay, distance, we have a B flat here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is an interval of a seventh. And the lowest note is B flat, so we are thinking in the key of B flat. Now, is the seventh note of a B flat major scale A natural, A sharp, or A flat? We know that in the seventh note of a B flat major scale actually is A, so this is the major version, this is the right note, so we can go ahead and write a major seventh. Next one. Count the distance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a sixth. Okay, the bottom note, now we're finding the quality. The bottom note is a B. We are thinking in the key of B major. Now I know the key of B major has 5 sharps. Father, child, goes down, and. Goes is one of them. The sixth note of a B major scale is supposed to be G sharp. This is not a G sharp, this is a G natural. So a major 6, B, G sharp. Now when we take that sharp away and put it to G, the interval size shrinks. So this is one smaller than a major 6, this is a minor sixth. Okay, now we're here. Count the distance, step 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's another seventh. And the bottom note is F, so we are thinking in the key of F major. Now, the seventh note of an F major scale happens to be E. I know that because I know my key signatures. This is not an E, this is an E flat. So F to E would be a major seventh, and because we have a flat, the top note went down, now the interval got smaller, and this is actually a minor seventh. One semitone smaller than a major seventh. Here, count the distance, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a fourth. Now, is C the fourth note of a G major scale? Yes, it is, so that is a perfect fourth. Alright, that's question 1. Question 2, write a harmonic interval above the given note. Remember, harmonic interval means immediately above, just like these ones up here. So, in this case, we are adding the top notes. The first question says we have to write a major sixth above this C. So first, let's just write a sixth above C. Let's count. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth above C is A. There it is. Now, we need to make sure the quality is correct. This is asking for a major sixth. Now, it might just be right just as is. We might not even have to add anything. Let's check. So now we're analyzing it like the way we did up here. The sixth note of a C major scale is A. It is not A sharp or A flat. So this is fine just the way it is. That's right. That's a major sixth. We didn't even have to do anything. Okay, next one. We have an E flat, and we need to write a perfect fifth. Let's start by just writing a fifth. So we'll go E and count up 5. E, 2, 3, 4, 5. We land on this B. Okay. I don't know whether it's going to be B natural, B sharp, or B flat. Let's think about this. The low note is E flat, so we are thinking in the key of E flat major. What's the fifth note of an E flat major scale? What's the dominant of E flat? Because I know my key signatures, I know that it is a B flat. So this isn't right now until I add the B flat in. And now it's correct. Alright, next one, a major second. Let's start by writing a second above this A. So a second above A is B. There it is there. Now, a major second. So we have to ask ourselves, what's the second note of an A major scale? B, B sharp, or B flat? I know that the second note of a I know that a second note of an A major scale is B. So this is fine just the way it is. We don't need to add anything. This is a major second. Minor seventh above the note C. Alright, let's find the seventh above the note C. C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had to write a ledger line there, because the seventh note above B, the seventh note above C is a B. So we have one ledger line and there's our B. Now we have to ask ourselves, is it a minor seventh? Let's see, we are thinking in the key of C major. The seventh note of a C major scale is B. So right now this is a major seventh. To make it a minor seventh, we need to make the interval smaller. And we can do that by writing a B flat and making that top note go lower. Now sometimes I have students write C sharp because they want to bring the note up. I'll talk about this later, but just as a reminder, you can't change the notes they gave you on the exam, okay? Don't do that. Kids do that all the time, I don't know why. So we needed to make this smaller. We had to change the note we were writing. We can't change the actual note on the exam. Okay, minor third above G. Let's write a third above G. G is 1, 2, 3. We land on a B. Now we have to ask ourselves, is it a minor third? I know that we are in the key of G major since G is the bottom note, and I know that the third note of a G major scale is B. So right now, this is a major third. We're looking for a minor third, so we have to take the major third and lower the lower the top note by one semitone, so we can add a flat here. And now it is smaller, and now it is correctly a minor third. And we have a perfect eighth, or perfect octave. This is the note A. I don't even have to count. I know an eighth above the note A is A again, because that's an octave, so there's our A. And now, this is easy. We ask ourselves, what's the eighth note of an A major scale? Tonic to tonic. Where does the A major scale end? Back on A. So this is a perfect eighth. That's fine. Good. Alright, now we have question 3. Write a harmonic interval below the given note. So we are doing the opposite of what we did here. We're writing underneath. So in this case, make sure you stick with the 2 steps. Make sure you just find the distance first, and then worry about the quality second. Let's do distance. We are in the bass clef. This is an A. A third under A is F. Okay. Now let's analyze it like a normal interval. Let's see if it worked itself out. The bottom note is F, so we're thinking in the key signature of F major. The third note of an F major scale is A. So good, this is a major third. We didn't even have to do anything. Alright, now we have to write a perfect fourth under this A. So let's write a fourth under. 1, 2, 3, 4. We land on the note E. There it is. Now, let's double check and make sure this is a perfect fourth. We're always in the key of the bottom note. The bottom note is E. The fourth note of an E major scale is A. So this is also right. Lucky us. We didn't even have to do anything. Alright, a minor second under the note D flat. Let's just go ahead and write a second first. Now, I, who made this worksheet, should have put that flat a little farther so that we can actually write a second. That's the correct way of writing a second. So before I put this back online, I'm going to move that flat over there. So we've written a second under the note D flat, and by the time you download this, that'll be corrected. So let's see if it's a minor second. The bottom note is C. The second note of a C major scale is D natural. This is not a D natural, it's a D flat. So if we take C to D, that's a major second, and the D flat makes it one semitone smaller to a minor second. So this is correct right now. We didn't have to write anything. C to D flat is the minor second. Okay, what about a minor sixth? We go 6 notes under this G flat. G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We land on B. Okay, there's a 6. Now let's check and see if it is a minor sixth. B is the bottom note. B has 5 sharps. And I know that the 6th note of a B major scale is G sharp. This is not a G sharp. It's not even a G natural, it's a G flat. So that's a problem at the moment. And I'm going to pull out our emergency situation because I'm getting confused. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to cover that flat. Let's analyze this in C major. Or back to B major. So B, what is this now? Without seeing the flat, what is this? B is the lowest note. We're in the key signature of B major. B major has 5 sharps. G sharp is one of them. This is not a G sharp, it's a G natural. So that is a minor sixth, just as it is. With me covering my hand, this is a minor sixth. Now when I uncover my hand, this note gets lower. That's a problem. This is a minor sixth and now it's too small. So what can we do to the bottom note to ensure that the interval stayed the same size? We need to lower this note too. So here it's a minor sixth and I want to keep it that way. If both notes get equally lower, the interval size didn't change. Here's the minor sixth, both notes get lower. The distance between my hands or the notes didn't change, so that's the right answer. B flat to G flat is a minor sixth, and we can double check that in the key of B flat major. The 6th note of a B flat major scale is supposed to be a G natural. This is one smaller because it's a G flat, so that's the right answer. Here we have a minor third. We have to write the note below. There's a C, and we will write a third underneath is A. Now we ask ourselves, is this a major third or minor third? A is the lowest note. In the key signature of an A major scale, C sharp is the third note. This is not a C sharp, it's a C natural. So A to C sharp is a major third, and if that C sharp got lowered to C, it became smaller, so this is a minor third just as it is. And the last one for question 3, we need to write a perfect fifth under this note F. Let's go down a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We end up on B. All right. Is this a perfect fifth just the way it is? We're in the key of B major because B is the lowest note. B major has 5 sharps and F sharp is one of them. The 5th note of an B major scale is F sharp. This is not an F sharp, so right now this interval is too small. B to F sharp is a perfect 5th, and B to F natural is too small. So what can we do? We're stuck with the top note, so we are going to have to lower the bottom note to readjust the size, just like we did over here. We're going to have to lower this note. So if I lower this by 1 semitone, now we have a B flat. Is F the 5th note of a B flat major scale? Yes, it is. So that's a perfect 5th. And the last question. Now we are dealing with melodic intervals. It's pretty much the same question, except it looks different on the page. And I've added in key signatures here. So we have to, no matter how far down the page we are, we have to remember that we are using 4 flats in this question and 3 sharps in this question. So name the following melodic intervals within the key signature. Let's start here. G to C. G is still the lowest note. Even though they're not played at the same time, like these harmonic intervals up here, we count G as the lowest note, which means we are going to think in the key of G major for this question. Even though there's an A flat major key signature over here, we're thinking in G major because we used G, the lowest note, as the reference point. So let's calculate the distance first. G, 2, 3, 4. C is 4 notes away from G, so it's a 4th. Is C the 4th note of a G major scale? Yes, it is, so it's a perfect 4th. This one. The lowest note is A flat, because we're still in the key signature. A flat to D flat, because we're in the key signature. So this is an A flat and a D flat. A flat is the bottom note, D flat is the top note. We're using A flat major as our reference key. Let's calculate the distance. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's another 4th. Is D flat the 4th note of an A flat major scale? Yes, it is. So it is also a perfect 4th. That was easy. Okay, next one. We have an E flat and a D flat. E flat is the lowest note, so we're going to be thinking in the key of E flat major. Let's figure out the distance first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7th. And D flat and E flat. So now we ask, is D flat the 7th note of an E flat major scale? It is not. D is the 7th note of an E flat major scale. So is this bigger or smaller than the major interval? E flat to D is a major 7th, and the D flat brings the top note down, and the space got smaller. So this is a minor 7th. Next question. We have a B flat and a C. B flat is the low note, and C is the top note. Let's figure out the distance. It's a 2nd, because it's right beside each other. Now, thinking in the key of B flat major, is C the 2nd note of a B flat major scale? Yes, it is. So this is a major 2nd. Next one. G is the lowest note, and this note is again an A flat, not an A. G to A flat. They're right beside each other, so I know the distance is a 2nd. Now, in a G major scale, what's the 2nd note of a G major scale? A flat, or A sharp? The 2nd note of a G major scale is A, and this is not an A. So, is this bigger or smaller? G to A is a major 2nd, and because the top note has been flattened, the interval is smaller, so it's a minor 2nd. Okay, now we have F to F. F to F, F to F, F to F. Perfect octave. We should just know that. F to F is obviously an 8th, and F to F, the last note of an F major scale is F. Okay, 3 sharps down here, so we're thinking in A major or F sharp minor. Same thing. We'll use the lowest note as the reference point. So let's calculate the distance. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4th again. Why did I write so many 4ths? Okay, 4th again. Now, A to D. Is the fourth note of an A major scale D? Yes, so it's a perfect fourth. All right, here we go again. There's an A as the lowest note and then a B. Let's figure out the distance. They're right beside each other. That's a second. Now, we're thinking in the key of A major because A is the lowest note. Is the second note of an A major scale B, B sharp, or B? Or, oops, B, B sharp, or B flat? The second note of an A major scale is B natural, and there it is, so this is a major second. There we go. And now we have a D. And we are going to be thinking in the key of D major, and this is not an F, it's an F sharp, because it's in the key signature, so D to F sharp. Let's count the distance, 1, 2, 3, it's a third, and F sharp is the top note, D to F sharp. Is the third note of a D major scale F sharp, F, or F flat? The third note of a D major scale is F sharp, so this is a major third just the way it is. And now we have E to B. Let's figure out the distance first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a fifth. And then we can use the key of E major because E is the lowest note. Is the fifth note of an E major scale B? Yes, it is. B is the dominant of E, so this is a perfect fifth. Up here we have a C sharp and a G sharp. C sharp to G sharp. So let's figure out the distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a fifth. Okay. Now, C sharp to G sharp. I know what C sharp major's key signature is, because I've been studying music theory for a long time, but you might not know what C sharp major's key signature is. Actually, it's not even in this grade. So if you don't know what C sharp major's key signatures, if you don't know what C sharp major's key signature is, that's like a tongue twister, you can just, remember, go into emergency mode and just analyze this in the key of C major. So pretend this is, instead of C sharp to G sharp, just pretend this is C to G. If it's C to G, that's easy. C to G, the fifth note of a C major scale is G, so that's a perfect fifth. And if you add the sharps back in, C to G is a perfect fifth, and if they both get sharp, the size didn't change. So we know it's a perfect fifth. So that's an example of my emergency procedure. You don't know what's going on, so just get rid of the sharps and flats and just think of it on the white note of the piano and then add them back in. And the last one is G. Is that a G sharp? Yes, it is. G sharp to A. G sharp is the lowest note. Let's figure out the distance. It's a second because there's steps. Now here again, I don't think many of you know what G sharp major's key signature is, or even if there is one. So let's just pretend that this is just a normal G going to a normal A. If this was a normal G going to normal A, this would be G major. What's the second note of a G major? Scale is A. So this would be a major second if it was G to A. Major second. Now if we add the sharp back into the G gets higher and closer to the A, and the interval got smaller, and one smaller than a major interval is a minor. So this is actually a minor second. And that is the answer.